know it is. I know it sounds super cliche, but you make me feel some type of way. This is falling in love. 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 Feel like sun on my skin, so this is love. I know it is. I know it sounds super cliche, but you make me feel some type of way. This is falling in love. I know it sounds super cliche, but you make me feel some type of way. This is falling in love. 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 Feel like sun on my skin, so this is love. I know it is. I know it sounds super cliche, but you make me feel some type of way. This is falling in love. This is falling in love. This is falling in love. This is falling.
All right, there we go. Wait, hold up. They can't hear you. That's actually my bad. Hello, everyone. Give me a second. I need to make sure you guys can hear Biohazard. There we go. Say hi, Biohazard.
Hello.
There we go. His audio
Welcome,
probably
welcome,
sounds
welcome.
10 times better than mine.
I was like, if you see me looking this way, I'm looking at chat too. So
Wait, what if I was able to flip you? I don't think I'd be able to do it, but I wish I could. I could flip you so it looked like we were talking to each other.
yeah.
Whatever. But hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. I see you guys all in the chat. Martin and Biased, if you guys are here, I really appreciate you guys. If you guys could be awesome and help me out because the bot is not here. Oh, wait, the bot is here. Okay, never mind. That's a lie. The bot was late to the stream.
The bot.
The bot was late to the stream, but I want to introduce you guys to my very special guest who's joined me today, the Biohazard King, who has just hit 100,000 subscribers. If we could all congratulate Biohazard for hitting that crazy milestone, I have to ask you, do you have any update on the play button?
It has officially been ordered. That's the only thing I can say.
Okay, so it's on its way.
Yeah. They said it could take like 2 to 3 weeks, so I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
That's gonna be so. I'm not even getting it, but I'm excited for you because that is like one of the craziest. Like, it's the beginning of it all.
I didn't even like expect to get it this year either. So that's the craziest thing.
Oh really?
I was like maybe like 3-4 years I'll get it, but yeah.
Okay.
It happened that fast. Like I was like, I blinked and I was like, dang, 100K. What the heck's going on?
What was your goal for the year? I know that everyone, like I had a goal of 5,000 for the year. I smashed that. What was your goal for 2023 subscriber wise?
10,000.
10,000 10,000 subscribers?
Well, I started this year, and I literally January, I think it's like 3rd or 4th, I hit 3,000 subscribers, and I was like, it'd be cool if I hit 10K, and then I made a bet with somebody. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna hit 20K this year.
You actually 5x, you 5 times that. Not only did you smash it, you completely destroyed the goal. Oh my goodness!
I think I went a little a little past that, but yeah.
That is actually awesome. And I also want to say, if you guys don't know Biohazard, you might recognize Biohazard because Biohazard has 27.5 million views. And if you don't recognize him for his videos, you might recognize him for his iconic short series of Can You Guess the FNAF Animatronic? We will be playing a round of that today. I'm actually very excited for that. We're going to be playing a round of Guess the FNAF Animatronic. I expect you to get a perfect score, okay?
I'm going to try.
I expect a perfect score from the king of FNAF shorts, and I don't say that I don't say that lightly, but you can decline it. It's okay, but I will say it for the viewers. I think that Biohazard is the king of FNAF shorts. In case you guys aren't aware, the previous tier above of FNAF shorts was Oh Yeah. If you guys haven't seen those, millions of views. Oh Yeah shorts were absolutely phenomenal and took over the space. And now we have our 2023, what I would call the Biohazard king of FNAF shorts. It was a great content. It is. If you guys have seen those shorts, you know that they were actually awesome and they're enjoyable, and I can watch those without end, and I still get 90% of them wrong, even though I watch them over again. So
you're making my head 5 times bigger than it needs to be. Chill out.
Well, I'm just thankful for all the content that you've made, and so many people have gotten to enjoy it. But you're making FNAF content, so I have to ask you, just like I ask everyone else, when did you become a FNAF fan?
It wasn't actually until around FNAF 3. So I would say probably end of FNAF 2, beginning of FNAF 3. And it just so happened that I had my nephew that weekend. We were going to go play Pokemon cards. And he put on some YouTube videos while we were getting ready. And one of them was I think it was Daco's, a theory video Daco made about one of the the teasers for FNAF 3. And I was like, this thing is kind of weird. I'm into it though. It's horror. It's kind of creepy. So then I started checking out a bunch of everybody's videos at that point. I didn't even know Markiplier made a video on it because at the time I was not watching YouTube. I had so much other stuff going on in my life. And it's been crazy.
So that's never a story. Everyone I talk to always Markiplier introduced me to FNAF.
That was there at the beginning.
Yeah, that is actually a unique story right there. You came in FNAF 3, but since you came in FNAF 3, is FNAF 3, I ask everyone, is FNAF 3 your favorite FNAF game, possibly? What's your favorite?
My favorite, if you ask me today, it would be FNAF 4. If you asked me yesterday, it might be different. You ask me tomorrow, it might be different. But my top 3, because these kind of rotate. Mm-hmm. So it's FNAF 4, and then I really loved Help Wanted, by a long shot. And then Ruin's now up there as well for me.
Ruin. How does it rank? Shockingly. How does it rank compared to the games? Because Ruin's a DLC, so it doesn't have the same length, I would call it. How does it rank compared to the other ones?
Well, so Ruin for me is especially versus the base game, right? So the base game, there was just, I don't know what it was about the base game. There were certain things I did not like. The atmosphere was too bright and colorful. The animatronics AI was kind of bad half the time.
Joyful.
But then when you move into Ruin, everything that they, I had issue with Security Breach, they fixed. It's not open world. You're in a linear path. There is a big environment, but it's linear. I'm a big fan of just get me to A to B, tell me a story. I love environmental storytelling, which Ruin does a lot of. And I thought the animatronics were scarier in Ruin than in the base game.
1,000%. I mean, I love Glamrock Freddy and I love, Montgomery Gator, but Montgomery Gator biting at your ankles with none of his shell on is 1,000 times scarier than a fully modeled Montgomery Gator, or even Glamrock Chica. I know Glamrock Chica is used a lot in Security Breach as I almost want to call it a cattle dog. It's kind of meant to corral you to where you kind of need to go and let you know where you are and push you where you need to go. And even then, Chica just was not that scary. I'm sorry, Chica fans.
I mean, the horror elements of Security Breach was just not there. My camera just needs to focus. Hello. But like Security Breach wasn't that scary. There was some elements that were cool. Like the Endos section was really cool. Like I really enjoyed it. But
Yeah.
other than that, like the game is it's okay. I remember when I first played it, I was like, this is not like what I want out of a FNAF game.
It wasn't up to the
Like,
standard.
yeah, like I don't mind FNAF going in that direction, but they needed to like narrow down everything because it's just so open world, and there's to get to A to B just took forever, and it kind of dragged in certain spots. Whereas like Ruin streamlined everything, and
Pushes you
I think you
forward.
can,
Yeah.
yeah,
just
and you can
nonstop.
still get a lot of that environmental storytelling, which I love.
I will say that one thing about like since you brought it up, and I think it was like completely 100% correct, and I don't think a lot of people talk about it is Steel Wool likes environmental storytelling. And another thing that Steel Wool is, it's an AR VR company. This was their first major game at all, like Security Breach. So it's like, I don't know if it should have been the first game they did. You know, I'll be honest. I do not think it should have been the first one that they did.
Well, I mean, Help Wanted was the first game they did, which I thought was fantastic. By the
No,
way,
I'm sorry. I mean like the first big, like the first big, like in person, like first person, like kind of game. I think that Ruin should have been the first. So that style should have been the first, and then we go to Security Breach. But I completely understand. And I think 99% of the community agrees with that. Next question I gotta ask you, because we're talking about favorite FNAF games. How about your favorite fan game? I've seen that you play fan games, you react to VHS, all that stuff. What is your favorite fan game that you've played or seen other people play?
currently it's still the Joy of Creation story mode. I absolutely love the Joy of Creation story mode. The fact that like every level is different, so it's not like the same repetitive gameplay over and over and over again, like most base FNAF games are. But like say night one is you're the baby, you're in the crib, you gotta watch the different characters. The night two, it's like the living room area, I believe, and then night three you're in the what was night three? The office, and then it's the basement and then the attic. I was like that. Everything's different night, but there's an overarching story through the whole thing. The animatronics, even though they are just Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and obviously Creation is in the game, but
Yeah.
it's still FNAF, right? But it's Nixon's own spin on the like scary elements of FNAF.
I'm too scared to play The Joy of Creation. Actually, I have people in my chat telling me to play it. I'm just too scared. I just see gameplay of it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think I'll pass.
The menu soundtrack is also one of my favorite soundtracks in any of the fan games as well. So
You know what? I might actually like try the game, but I'll probably wimp out like halfway through and be like, guys, this is too much.
I will say the basement level is probably the scariest of any fan game I've ever played.
Is that like one of the first levels or later?
It's the fourth night is the basement level. Because if you hated the Endo section of Security Breach, you'll hate this. It's worse.
I hated it, but I also liked the Endo section because I was scared. But like it was like one of those like grudge, like I like this, but it's just horrifying and scary and is actually making me think, unlike the rest of the game.
Well, the Endos in this have the same mechanic, so it's like you turn and they move, and then when you look at them, they stay still. And it's actually, I think, in the files, it's called like the Fallen Angel, is the Endo, which I was like, that's pretty cool.
The Endo for Joy of Creation?
The Joy of Creation, yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right, next question I got to ask you is, what is your favorite animatronic? Now, I already know the answer, but for everyone else, I ask everyone, what is your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic?
Funtime Freddy.
Now, I got to ask you, why is it Funtime Freddy?
I love how quirky he is. I love like Kellen killed his voice lines. This was like for me it could be a lot of nostalgia as well, because like it's like the first time you heard an animatronic speak, and I was like, this is so cool. I don't know. I love the way Kellen portrayed the character, and that's always stuck with me and has stuck with me forever.
People rip on Sister Location, and that's a whole other conversation to talk about Sister Location. I do, like, personally, as a Sister Location fan and someone who likes the game, I feel like the hate of Sister Location completely skyrocketed from when Oh Yeah made the video. Because everyone just completely hopped on the bandwagon. They didn't care before, but the second Oh Yeah made the video, everyone hopped on it. But, alright, that's fine. Go ahead.
So I watched his video, and there are a lot of points he made I liked. I was like, okay, well, I understand why you feel this way. And then you look back on it and you're like, maybe like I never ranked Sister Location that high for my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of points he made. But I also understand, like, if people love the game, who am I to tell you that you're wrong? Like, you love any FNAF game in any order you want. I don't care. Unless you like FNAF AR, then you can get out of here.
Yeah, if you like FNAF AR, I would like you to unsubscribe to my channel and leave because you can't be reasoned with. All right? If you believe Stitchline games, you know what? At least I can work with you. AR is your favorite game? Get out. That's it.
That's the only one I'll argue with.
Yeah,
but other than that, like, if you like FNAF 2, cool. If you like FNAF 4, cool. Like, FNAF 6 is somebody's favorite FNAF game, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that and it's a good like okay, like let's start talking games here. FNAF 6 was good, but what I liked about Sister Location, like you mentioned, is the voice acting. No one appreciates like the voice act. We've never had that before to that level of animatronics talking to us. I think it's forgotten. Like we only had Phone Guy. We love Phone Guy. Phone Guy, if you ever hear this, because we know you're Scott Cawthon, if you ever hear this, we love you. But you know, Funtime Freddy and Hand Unit, a little bit of a step up.
Yeah.
All right.
Then you even had like Ballora talk to you as well. Circus Baby, obviously with Heather Masters and stuff like that. I was like,
Circus Baby is like horrifying
they did
ASMR.
fantastic. Yeah.
It is the worst form of ASMR you could possibly ask for. All right,
I will say, just to piggyback real quick off of that, I think a lot of people's love for, let's say, the original 4 or 5, like the Scott Cawthon era games, is hands down to nostalgia and how you felt when playing those games to begin with. And a lot of people will be like, oh, I love, like for you love Sister Location, but you probably enjoyed the time you spent with the game, when you played it, you're like, oh, I love this aspect or that aspect. Night 3 is my favorite night of every FNAF. Like, there's something about that game that makes you rank it high. And I think it's the same reason why people rank FNAF 1 so high. And because I love FNAF 1, but I don't think it's a very good game.
It doesn't hold a candle to any of the. It doesn't even hold like a chance in comparison. And
put it this way: if I can beat the entire game without dying, there's a problem.
Yeah, but also you said you obviously said your favorite game is FNAF 4. I think FNAF 4 has withstood the test of time like no other game. It has. It's still scary. It still gets me. You know, the ambiance, everything about it completely gets me, and that's why I actually agree that it could be. I think I had it as my favorite FNAF game of all time. I forgot the tier list, but I think if I was to do it again, I would put it at number 1 because that has to be like one of these scariest experiences that still scares me after playing it 20 times.
It even like sometimes gets me because like you go up to the door, you're like, okay, was that breathing? Was that the dog barking? Was that the clock going off? Was that the phone call? I don't know. Do I flash the light? Oh my God, my heart's racing. Flash the light. Oh, nothing's there.
Exactly. Also, I think that the breathing is kind of annoying because there are times where I feel like Scott purposely made it where Nightmare Chica specifically breathes really quiet. It is like, okay,
Chica's
great.
is either very quiet or it's sudden, and then she doesn't breathe again, and you're like, was that a breath? Was that the dog? I don't know.
I've had someone in my chat tell me that I should play the game with actually no audio, just to sorry, not no audio, no video, like no actual like.
Oh, that's actually a game mode though. in FNAF 4 is actually a game mode.
Wait, really? How do you do it?
I get good. I don't know. Once you beat the game and you unlock like 420 mode, once you beat that, you unlock the cheats, so to speak. They're not actually like there are some cheats, but there's also like challenges. And if you go to the challenges, there's like I think it's like instant Foxy, which means that at the beginning of the night, Foxy spawns in your closet. There's Mad Freddy, which Freddy is more aggressive than normal. There's
Mad Freddy is in Nightmare Freddy, like the Freddles?
Yeah, so they'll appear more frequently. There is all nightmare mode, which means the entire night is nothing but nightmare instead of Nightmare Night, how you know how it's like the 4 and then it switches over.
Yeah.
All nightmares, the entire night is nightmare. So it's basically night 5, but nightmare. And
that
then
actually sounds fun.
Then there's blind mode. And blind mode, literally the screen's black. You can't see anything.
Does it at least give you like directionals on how to get to each door and like the thing, or you just have to figure that on your own?
You have to figure it out.
Oh, I hate that.
You have to know what you're looking at, and it's so hard because you can tell if you really listen. You can tell what's a door and what's a closet, like when you open it. So that does help, but obviously, if Bonnie's at the door and you go to the closet, you're probably going to die to Bonnie on the way back. You know.
I wonder, like, if anyone has done for 2020 with that's been done.
Yeah, because there's 10 stars in the game.
Oh, you're teaching me
know.
stuff that I never knew. I called myself a FNAF theorist and someone that knew this game, and he's teaching me basically how to play the game again. What?
So there's 10 stars. So it's beating night 5, beating night 6, nightmare mode 420. So those are your 4 main stars.
Yep.
And then there's Mad Freddy, Instant Foxy, All Nightmare, and then there's Mad Freddy and Instant Foxy at the same time. And then there's All Nightmare Blind Mode, and then I think it's Mad Freddy, Instant Foxy, Blind Mode. So it's 10 stars.
That's insane.
I think I've only gotten 6 or 7. Maybe I've gotten 8 because I know I haven't done the blind modes because those are ridiculous.
I can only imagine how how much time and how much patience you would have to actually do that. All right, next question I gotta ask you. I know that you've kind of said this before. You're not a big FNAF book reader. Have you read any of them?
No.
You haven't read it. You haven't read it.
I started reading the epilogues for Tales from Pizzaplex because obviously they have bigger implications now than before. But that's about all I've been.
If you had to look at the evidence for, because obviously you're not a theorist, so I feel like I can ask you this and you can just give them a more lighthearted answer than the debate back and forth. But if you had to give do you think the Tales books are canon and taking place in the exact same timeline as the games, or do you think that they're more of parallels?
Personally, I've always thought it was parallels. Because Scott a long time ago, and this was just from the Silver Eyes trilogy, where Scott was like, "Oh, it's its own universe, so book universe, game universe," and so there's a lot of crossover things, and you can use the books as clues to answer some of the stuff. Obviously, William Afton's name was told in the books before it was in the game, stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
But I don't think they're one to one a lot of times either. And so I think the books are their own continuity, but you can use pieces of the books to solve the game lore.
I think something interesting that I think people have forgot in the debate. I won't get caught up on this, but just for everyone that's listening, I just want to say notice something. The books revealed William Afton before he appeared in the game. The Tales books revealed the Mimic before the Mimic appeared in the games. I don't want to say that there's something, but there's a reason they're not. I don't think they're canon at all. I think there's overwhelming evidence for as why they're not. But I will say in a video that I don't want to get caught up on this, but yeah, basically just notice the similarities of how the villains were revealed. All right, now let's get off of that topic.
Well, I'll just add one thing.
Sure.
At the end of the day, whether the books are 100 1-to-1 or they're not, I don't care. As long as I'm having fun playing the games, and I understand the story just from the game perspective, then I'm fine with it. Obviously, I'm gonna be on Twitter and be like, oh, okay, well, there's the Mimic. Okay, Mimic's cool. Okay, so that's kind of a cool crossover. I don't care either way. I'm not gonna go grab my pitchfork anytime somebody's like, oh, it's canon or oh, it's not. If it's canon, cool. If it's not cool, I don't care.
How about this? Let's actually do this. Let's actually talk pitchfork, since I have it as one of the topics that we're going to talk about. If you guys haven't been aware with the FNAF community, right now, basically Twitter is on fire because some accounts were saying that it would be nice if Scott revealed, revealed or gave us insight on the books and their ties to the games. And if you guys don't know, the newest one, B72, the next book that's coming out, there was a live reader along or something like that. I didn't personally attend it or see anything about it, but I know that a lot of the major accounts were tweeting that they were fed up. Basically, they were fed up that they weren't clearly connected, and it led to some accounts stating that we should email Scott Cawthon and try to personally get in contact with him. And I'll let you, give your take on it in 1 second, but I will personally state that I do not condone that at all. I think that that's stupid. Part of what's made FNAF so great is having the ability to theorize and Scott dangling that carrot in front of us and leading us along. And I think that this is a culmination of the lack of patience. I really do think Ruin released now and Help Wanted 2 is releasing in the same year because Scott's trying to say, here's the Mimic and here's the bone that might help us solve it. Go ahead, Biohazard. Sorry.
The only thing with the whole tweet thing was the person that originally started it, the original tweet was like, we should mass email him. And it's like, it's like,
yeah.
If that person would have been like, if they themselves took the responsibility and were like, oh, I'm going to email Scott or whatever, that's one thing. But you were like, hey, we should mass email him. Here's his email address so you can send him emails and stuff. I was like, that's
too far.
as somebody with a following, I think that was a step a little too far. I get like their argument was like, oh well, it's worked before. That doesn't make it a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I was
Disappointed would be how I would describe it. I don't know how you.
yeah. I mean, I'm always disappointed in the community, so I can't. That's
It's
why I
the
did
sad
that fake
truth.
0 because it was like 0 days since last argument on Twitter. It's
Yeah.
like
That's-
it's like a weekly thing. It's like people as creators and
Yes.
as people who are um, I wouldn't say that I'm well known in the community, but like as people that are well known and have bigger followings need to know that what they say has weight. And the issue is that when you say something, people will take things way too far. And I understand they backtrack in their tweets saying like, "Hey, don't be disrespectful. Like if you want to see change, be nice about it." And that's fine. But like, holy moly, you should have said that to begin with. And I think none of this would have happened. You know, like, hey,
Yeah.
if you wanna email them, be nice about it. But they didn't. They were like, oh, we should mass email them, and it's like, ooh,
I think part of it is that social media and like people on Twitter and like X. I'm not calling it X ever. I'm sorry, Elon. I'm just not calling it X. I'm calling it Twitter. I think
Elon won't even call their child their right name. So
that's so
I don't-
true. That's actually so true. One thing about Twitter, I think, is that people are caught in the circle of FNAF, and what happens is if you don't constantly. Now I'm talking about a wider issue here, but like when you don't take a break from social media, you kind of get caught in the circle of it, and time in social media is a lot faster than in the real world. Like
yeah.
things transpire faster. So I think what happens is people get fed up in like 2 minutes on Twitter because they feel like it's been like 2 days, but it's actually just been 2 minutes. And like, it takes time for this stuff to come out and release, but they're like so quick to respond and they're so like, they are so quick to get frustrated that's what happens. They just like chillax. Like, calm down.
Well, the whole thing with social media is you want information now rather than later. And
Exactly. Instant gratification.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people with a bigger following, it's one thing to have your following blow up, and then you're not used to that. And I just think when you have a following, you have to recognize that there's people that look up to you, and if you say something, even if it's in a negative light or whatever, they're still gonna take it and run with it. And for them to be like, "Hey, we should mass email them," there's probably going to be a third of them that are angry emailing, not just like, "Hey Scott, we're just wondering if you could clarify this." And no, they're gonna be like, "No, Scott,
you
F
effing
you,
idiot."
you're yeah." And that's like, it's like you have to realize that that was your community. Like you wanted them to do this.
And like Scott
Yeah.
is someone that we respect and owe this all to. Why are we angry with him? Why?
Yeah.
It's a bear game. I mean, I love theorizing about bear game. I'm building a channel around bear game, but still, I love bear game. But I know bear game is bear game. Bear game has confusing things, and I think people forget that that's what made FNAF so great.
Yeah, I did want to point out somebody in chat a while back said something about guessing FNAF characters by their toes, and yeah, we do that on my channel. If you didn't know that.
Oh yes, not only is it
Guessing
by the
their
hand.
feet, yeah, by the hands, feet. I recorded some guess the torsos today. We're recording guess the accessories tomorrow. We, guess in 60 seconds. I've done all of them.
I'm interested the guess the torso. How
yeah,
you
that one's.
how you'd possibly disguise that.
Oh,
Obviously,
everybody gets so mad about the black and white thing.
oh, that's right. You put filters on them. I just remembered that you
Yeah.
do put filters on them, color filters on it, so it'd make it 10 times
Well,
more difficult.
So in the beginning we didn't, and then I got so many comments like, "These are too easy. I'm such a big brain." But I was like, okay, well, I was like, how should we make them harder? And somebody's like, oh, take the color gives it away too much. I was like, okay, black and white. And now there's a subset of not a lot, but it's definitely less than it was before. But they're like, it's in black and white. I got it wrong. Because you made it in black and white. And even my filtered comments, you should stay out of that way.
Oh no.
It's bad sometimes. I'm just like,
I'm sure some people are stupidly annoying and angry about just a torso of an image.
I love the comments, by the way. So don't I don't want that to come off a weird way, but like I love reading the comments. I read almost every comment, so it's like, bro.
I do the same,
like,
but I just never want to admit to it because if I do, then actually I will admit to it. I do read my comments, and when I do find comments that are like My favorite are comment, like, I mean, I don't know about you, but like I have comments because I do theory content where people will like leave like actual essays in my comments about the lore. I'm like, you really shouldn't be doing this for a FNAF YouTuber's comment section because there's no guarantee I'd read it, and I hate to see all your work go to nothing. But like people leave like essays in my comments, and I actually read them, and like they'll never like it or heart it or pin it.
You should.
I
Should like and heart.
It's wait, I should like and heart.
Like and heart. Show them that you love them leaving a comment.
But
It'll like, it'll heart.
I don't want to do. The reason why I don't want to do it is because I know that some people like to bait. Like they'll leave like I've had people leave awful theories in there trying to get me angry and like telling me I'm an idiot. So I don't like read them. I don't want to like acknowledge them, but I do.
Well, there's a different if it's a nice comment, or even if it's like a comment that's like arguing against your theory but not directly attacking your character, then yeah, sure, like it, heart it, whatever. But I mean, if you don't like it, then don't do it. But like if you if you read a comment, you're like, oh, that was a nice comment, or oh, that I didn't necessarily agree with it, but give them a heart, because it shows that not only that you're reading the comments, but it shows that you appreciate that you appreciated them leaving a comment.
I should probably do that. You're making me rethink my entire YouTube model here.
And if they attack your character, sometimes it'll be filtered into your thing, so they'll never see it anyway. So
I do find some of them funny. I do find some of the ones that get me funny, but I'll never admit it. All right. Next question that I have for you is obviously you kind of talked about this earlier, but I just want to we kind of covered it earlier, but I just want to clearly ask the question. Since you're obviously doing YouTube, you had 100K. I gotta ask, who has inspired you to do YouTube or continue, or just in general, if there's a creator?
Okay, so I have two answers to this. The person that inspired me to start YouTube was Dawko. And the reason why I say Dawko is because I would watch Markiplier, I would watch Jacksepticeye, I would watch, when I was getting a lot, into YouTube and stuff like that, I'd watch the big creators and go, I'm not that energetic at the time, especially at the time. I was like, I'm not that confident, I'm not that energetic, I'm not, I don't have a good setup or anything, because I had, a worse laptop than I did when I started YouTube. And, I was like, man, I couldn't do it. And then I remember watching Dawko when he was at 30K. And going, oh, you don't actually need all the fancy setup, because his first camera, awful, it is so bad. And I was like, oh, okay, well maybe I could do this, and I do like playing games, so Dawko was the inspiration to become a YouTuber.
Dawko.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So the direction of my channel that I've taken since January was a YouTuber by the name of Vintendo.
I've heard that name.
He does Pokemon content. Guess the Pokemon in 60 seconds. See if any of this rings a bell. Guess the Pokemon by their feet. Guess the Pokemon by their eyes. Guess the Pokemon by their hands. And I was like, when I originally saw him do it, it was guess in 60 and guess by the feet. And I was like, I wonder if that could work with FNAF. It obviously has. So
it's paid off very well.
Yeah.
I gotta ask.
And what was funny with that is I sat down with my friends. I was like, oh, what could we do? Oh, guess the emojis, guess the hands, guess the whatever. And then he started doing them after the fact, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. So these ideas are good.
Confirmation that you were on the right track. I gotta ask, because you were mentioning it earlier. What is your favorite? Obviously, what's your favorite franchise besides FNAF? I think I know the answer, but go ahead and confirm. Go ahead and confirm it for me.
I was gonna think of a random franchise, and it just went poof. I love Pokemon and I love Resident Evil. Those are my top two, always.
All right, favorite starter?
Starter Pokemon?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you had to roast me like this.
Just to answer, so while you're thinking, mine. I know everyone's gonna roast on me for it. I mean, I like Charmander. Trust me, Charmander's cool, but Greninja is just so good. I'm sorry. Oh, War Turtle, yes.
My War Turtle.
I like Squirtle.
I don't know.
I just don't like War Turtle.
Squirtle Squirtle is definitely one of my favorites, and then I really liked the newest starter. I like Fuecoco. I love its final evolution. I would say though Grookey went up there for me as well from Sword and Shield, because I was a drummer for 10 years, and Rillaboom obviously is a drummer as well.
That must have resonated. Actually, all right, we're supposed to talk about FNAF, but I went off topic, but I love this topic. I have a question. Do you
Okay.
feel? I personally feel that the quality of the franchise, like recently, I feel like that's like general consensus. But the one thing that I do love that's a constant are the card. I feel like the cards, like the card game, the TCG has always been just top notch, like above everything else. It's right. Oh, what's going on?
Since we're talking about the TCG, I
Oh
can pull this
no.
out.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
see,
cool. Is that
I used
your?
to play. I used to play competitively, so
I
I
never
won
got
a
into it that good. I was never
I
that
won
good.
a league cup. It's a smaller tournament, but
Uh huh.
I won a couple. But yeah, I used to play the TCG competitively. So
Also, Enderman, I really want to thank you. I saw you in the chat. I just saw it. Thank you so much for gifting the membership. Thank you so much.
yeah,
I just saw that. Who got that? Who was that? Oh, Emily got it. That's
Emily got
awesome.
it. Yeah,
Emily's in here, but Emily was actually really. Thank you so much, Enderman. I really want to thank you for that. Um,
I'm a nerd. Sorry.
no, you're completely fine. I grew up. I grew up watching the anime or cartoon. I get roasted anytime I call it one or the other. It's an anime.
So it'd be anime. If it was American based, it'd be cartoon.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Sorry. That was.
I was like,
Ye-
you went robotic for a minute.
Yeah, it just everything just disconnected for a second. Yeah, but everyone gets mad at me when I call
Uh-oh.
it an anime, so it's just like, don't hurt me. Um,
Yeah.
I know some of you guys in chat might be fans of it. And if you are, please make sure you state what your favorite starter is. All right, everyone, tell me what your favorite starter is. I saw someone say Charizard, but Charizard's not a starter. I'm talking stage 1, basic. All right, and I will be reading.
I mean, you could say Charmander if they say Charizard. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm actually gonna be technical. I'll be the jerk. I'll be the police, the Poke Police. That's what I'll be.
You're like those comments. Actually, it's the mimic, not glitch trap.
My
Bro,
favorite thing that's come out of the Mimic is the Mimic. The whole like.
the mimic.
I actually love that FNAF actually has like a meme for once that we actually can all get behind. And if any of you call it a meme, please stop.
A
Get
meme.
help. You're over 50. All right. I actually want to comment really quickly. Everyone, if you guys don't know, there was like obviously there's FNAF drama all the time. There's always FNAF drama. There always is. There is never there's never a lack of it. But what I want to talk about Biohazard about that's really interesting to me is I want to talk about the Darko made a video talking about the Scooby-Doo or reacting to the Scooby-Doo AI, not AI. I just did the story, but in reverse, and like that was horrible. He made a video reacting to a like Scooby-Doo and FNAF collab, but it wasn't an official collab. It was like what was thought at the time to be like a small creator or developer making their own little. I don't even know how you.
It was an animation.
Animation. It was like an
Yeah.
animation. Like it was cool. It was cool personally. I saw it on Twitter, like a clip of it, and I was like, "Whoa, that's so cool!" And Dawko made a reaction to it. And Biohazard, I actually didn't know this until you tweeted about it, but apparently how about this? I'll let you tell the story because you probably know 9,000 times more than me. So please go ahead.
I mean, there's not much to add to that. They basically the creator they did everything themselves. So what I was told was they hired one voice actor, and it was for Shaggy, but every other character in the animation was AI generated voice. But they didn't do like, oh, random generic old man. They were like, hey, this person acted as this character. I'm gonna use their voice, right? And I was like, oh, that. Like, I don't mind AI. Like, I'm not as like vehemently against AI like everybody else.
There is a group of
But
vehement AI haters. That is true.
there's like a line, and there's certain lines you shouldn't cross, and like theft is definitely one of them, and it's a big problem with the AI community in
Impersonation would
general.
almost be what I would call it, right? Like an impersonation, and like
It would be one thing if they got somebody like their friend to do the voice, because I'm 100% the animations were fantastic. They did a great job,
that
but
was
the
good.
the AI is just like. No, they were. I think they were. It was either they were. I don't remember if they were a kid or if they were just young or whatever. But they were like, they couldn't afford to pay people, so they used AI. And I get where you're coming from, to an extent, but how hard is it to be like, hey man, you want to voice Scooby, and you know what I mean? You want to voice Velma, like, I'm sure they have friends, like.
Or they can hire people. I'm sure that. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties with my mic cutting in and out. Sorry.
Oh, well, the
All
whole
right.
thing is like, they said they couldn't afford to hire people, and I get that. Like, I've been in positions where you couldn't hire people to pay, to do things for you, but at the same time,
Okay, I think I
it's
fixed it.
not hard to be like, hey guys, you know anybody that would do it for free, and if I make any revenue, we'll do a split or something like. But I know they were like young, so I didn't want to give them too much crap, but I'm just like, man.
No, that was actually. I just want to bring that up because it's interesting because I actually think that that's going to be happening more in the FNAF space, and I wouldn't be surprised, and I think neither would you, that people are going to start doing it for FNAF characters. People are going to be AI generating, Kellen Goff's voice. Like, for example, I have a video script where I want to voice Gregory. I want to have Gregory's voice and Glamrock Freddy's voice. If I wanted to, I could use AI to steal the voices of. Is it Marta Svetic? Marta
Yeah, Marta
Svetic.
does Gregory. Yeah.
Marta does Gregory, so I could do Marta's voice. I could take it, and then whoever voices Glamrock Freddy, which I forgot off the top. Do you know who voices Glamrock Freddy?
Helen does.
Oh, Kellen Goff does. Kellen Goff. Like I
Hmm.
could just AI generate their voices, but that would be the wrong thing to do. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to try to impersonate Gregory and Glamrock Freddy. That's gonna be weird, but I have to do it because I'm not here to steal someone else's voice.
And
So
I think with the animation that they did a fantastic job. So like all you could have done it yourself. Like I don't know. It's weird because I see FNAF VHS artists that voice everything themselves, or they know somebody else who does VHS. Hey man, you mind voicing? I've it's been announced, but nothing is available. I voiced Phone Guy in a fan game. I did it for free, so it's like
what's the fan
it's
game?
not hard to. The game is called The Hallowed Ones.
Hallowed Ones. I think I've heard of it. I haven't interacted with anything about it, but I think I saw someone tweet about it. I follow all the FNAF topics on Twitter and
I'm also friends with Fred Nader, so I've been pestering him for like a year and a half. I'm like, put me in a game, put me in a game.
I want in. All right.
There was an Easter egg. There was a game that him and his team were making called A Golden Pass Chapter 3, which if you've never played Chapter 2, Chapter 2 is very fun. It's like a FNAF 2 reimagining, and it was very fun. Chapter 3, they unfortunately had to cancel because they just kind of lost interest in playing it. And he sent me a screenshot of what was supposed to be in the game, and there was an Easter egg for me in the game. And I was like, oh, that's nice. But obviously,
I
game's not coming out anymore.
and it never saw the light of day. All right,
Yeah.
I gotta ask you because we're talking FNAF. We talked about film and like animation. Now we gotta get to the big film, the release of 2023. If you think it's Barbie or Oppenheimer, you're wrong. It's obviously Five Nights at Freddy's Five Nights at Freddy's the movie. I
I
have
don't know.
my.
Barbie made billions, so
That is true. That gives me hope that there's an audience for FNAF, like the movie when it
Yeah.
comes out. But I gotta ask. First impressions about the film, and then maybe a bold prediction that you think will happen in the movie.
So from what I saw, the trailers, fantastic. Like everything looks good. The animatronics look fantastic. I know they said that they're like practical suits and animatronic. I was like, that they look so good. I know there was a big upheaval about the red eyes. I didn't bother me at all. I thought
I
it was
understand that. Yeah.
well because the red eyes have been used in every other promotion for like FNAF AR used red eyes as well. So it's just kind of like okay, well this is just a thing in FNAF now. I think the characters are going to be really cool. I hate that that they can't promote the movie now because of the strike. I wish the studios would, get off their backside and and pay these people. But that's probably a conversation for another time. But
Yeah.
my bold prediction is that we're going to get the spring lock failure at the end of the movie.
Ooh, that would be so cool. That would actually.
I know some people said something about the bite of 87. I was like, not in this movie.
Yeah. Also the bite of 83. I think that people are. They're forgetting. Like this movie is going to act like the Silver Eyes was to the games. It'll be like the same characters but a different story, but the characters will still overlap. Like William Afton in the game still did awful things. William Afton in the book still did awful things. Like it's gonna have those same things. I can't speak because I have a video and I have some pretty crazy predictions that you would probably want to end the call if you heard. So let's get off of this topic. Let's get off of that while I can. But either way, I'm excited and I really do think, and I'm sure you can agree because I think the whole industry of indie horror and mascot horror is like crossing their fingers for this movie because if this movie does well, Poppy Playtime, the film, will be announced soon. I know that they already have a deal, but that's coming out like ASAP.
And a Ban movie. I'm excited. I'm kidding. Please, for the love of God, don't give me a Ban movie.
Yeah, we need to wait for Chapter 17 to release before they make a Ban movie. And
hey, you can hate on Ban. Chapter 4 was actually fun.
I was actually. You want to know what's next on my topics? This is actually hilarious. Thoughts on Ban.
Okay.
All right, I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts? All right, chat. Listen, guys, I love you guys. You're all the best. But come on, we have to talk about Ban. It's like literally the most popular game of 2023. Biohazard. Give me the rundown. How do you feel about Garten of Ban?
I think it's a massive cash grab. That's all it is. The first game was fine. It is what it was. I enjoyed the first game a lot. 2 and 3 were very terrible. The third one was not good. And I almost didn't play the fourth one, but I had a comment from an old friend that was like, "Oh, my son loves watching your videos." And I was like, "All right, I'll play 4."
That was actually
yeah.
That was actually interesting because I felt the same way, except I felt the exact same way as you did, but I felt that with Chapter 3, I was playing something where there was an actual like identity to the game. Like they discovered like what they actually wanted to do. And to your comment about Chapter 4, 10 to 11 times better than anything that was found in Chapter 1 to 3.
I wouldn't go that high.
Really? I felt like it was everything was so much better.
Chapter 4 was better for sure. The story was I mean, Charles showing up, I was like, that's pretty cool. But it made no sense story wise. But I liked that crossover, which was an official crossover, which people still seem to not understand.
Such a smart move by the team who made Choo Choo Charles.
Yeah, 2-star games. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a brilliant move.
Well, your chat says I'm not saying Ban's a great game by any stretch. I've played a million games better than the Ban. But what Ban does that a lot of other games haven't done is they marketed towards the audience that is gonna make them the most money.
Dang it, Martin! Thanks for reminding me that my most popular stream is Ban related. I really needed that. I really needed that. So I actually completely agree with everything you just said with Ban 4. I think that the story was more direct. I do think that. Did you ever watch that game theory video that they made about the lore of Garten of Ban?
Nope.
No. Game theory basically.
Go ahead.
Basically started rationalizing this game, and when I played Garten of Ban 4, I feel like they're trying to do like almost like a FNAF equivalent of a retcon. They're like trying to like completely pivot and change everything because now they actually think. First of all, $10 for the game was ridiculous. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, that was a little too high.
Insane. And I understand Euphoric Brothers are trying to hide behind the justification of their college students, they need money, whatever. I do not care. That is way too much money for the quality that this game is.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
I think if they would have went to like $7, I'd be like, okay, that the first one was 5s, this one was better, so I could see justify set 10. I'm like, okay, you're pushing it. I did pay the 10, but I was like, you're kind of pushing it.
I almost refunded them, but I was just like, you know what? I made money off the stream. You know what?
I beat the game in like an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah.
Same. I beat it so fast. Even Ban 4, I beat really fast. But with Ban 4, I left the game and I was like, no idea what just happened, but I actually kind of had fun. But with Garten of Ban 2 and 3, I was like, not really sure how I feel about this one.
Yeah. What I thought they were gonna do, my prediction was that they were gonna do Ban 5. It'd come out later this year, which they did announce already. But they also announced Ban 6. My prediction went out the window. I thought they were going to release Ban 4 and 5, and then they were going to go, all right, this is it. And then at the end of it, release a whole package where you can, if you don't have the games, you can buy them as one game, kind of like Bendy and the Ink Machine did. Because Bendy released as Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then they released a cohesive game. I was like, I thought they were going to do that with Ban, and they're like, oh, here's Ban 6, and the pictures. I'm like,
they can't stop. Like, can they? Like for example, you know, like the whole Skibbity toilet thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a meme until like 2 days ago.
The creator of Skibbity Toilet could not stop because like if you stop, you're losing so much potential, income or money that could set you for life. Whereas the Euphoric Brothers, they're gonna have to ride this train until it runs off a cliff because it is a cash cow.
Well, people also forget that FNAF 1 through 4 was in the span of a year, right? Or a year and a half or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you ride the wave until the wave crashes and then you do something different. That's welcome to the internet.
I had a video that I talked about what killed mascot horror, and it was I did have a comment that actually bothered me about the video, and it was like, you didn't like criticize them all like as much as you should have, whatever. And one thing that did like pop in my head that I was just like, I didn't want to go too crazy because I know that people still cherish these franchises at the end of the day. I don't want to like rip and tear to shreds what people some of them enjoy. Like for example, Hello Neighbor. Because some people like Hello Neighbor. I don't. I loved the concept at first. It released and I was like, this is an utter disappointment and failure. That's how I feel. But I'm not gonna like make everyone think that. So when it comes to Ban, sure, it's the exact same thing. It's like this. It's really just cash grab. It's not made well, not optimized. It really isn't worth the value. But I'm not gonna tell everyone out there.
I don't know if you saw ML Spence like breaking down the polygons for some of these characters. I was like, how?
Yeah, like why?
Yeah. I don't understand it. I think if they're gonna do what I was talking about, where they release like Garten of Ban, the complete saga, then they need to optimize the game better because this ain't it.
100%. It ain't it. And then also it's ridiculous.
Can I comment about something in chat?
Sure, go ahead.
I loved Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, fantastic game.
Emily, I just saw your message.
I haven't played 2 yet, so I can't comment on 2. I have seen that it was it was better than the first one. I personally don't know because I haven't played it. I will be playing it soon. I've been saying that for like 3 months though. So
my phone here, so I can actually read chat a little bit better. Yeah, one thing that actually I was gonna ask you about Poppy Playtime. Actually, it's just we hop to it. Let's do it. Poppy Playtime. I do have my critiques about the developers and the team. Like I don't like the team behind Poppy Playtime, but I do. I respect the product about what they're making.
I was against playing the game until they were like, "Hey, we messed up," and then I was like, "Okay, well, as long as you admit that you messed up and that you're not doing the thing that you messed up on, then sure, okay, I'll give you a chance."
Are you gonna play? Actually, just one last thing on Poppy Playtime. How do you feel about the Project Playtime, the spin-off, whatever that correlation that has? I don't know if it's like within the same can, whatever. How did you feel about Project Playtime? If you have or have not played it.
I haven't played it. I literally downloaded it again like 2 months ago. I haven't touched it. I haven't even opened it yet. It's free. I like free.
Probably
play.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just say it's a Fortnite style game where you're like the only thing you're paying for is skins and that's fine. Like it's cool. It's like Dead by Daylight. That's very popular. Texas Chainsaw Massacre game just came out. That's popular. It's like I get that the 4v1 asymmetrical horror games, but like I haven't played it, and apparently the game's kind of fallen off anyway. So
yeah, I don't think that they were updating enough. But also to talk about Poppy Playtime to me is what makes me not want to associate with it at all is the same reason why I will not be playing Candyland. We'll get to Candyland in a second if you know what that is. But
yeah, well that's what I was referring to earlier. The thing that I didn't like that they were like, "Yo, we messed up."
Yeah, the NFTs. Let's just straight up say it. Poppy Playtime NFTs. Do not buy NFTs. They're a scam. If you are not going to take it from me, go take it from Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis. We won't talk about that because I doubt any of you in chat know what's going on over there.
You can talk about the Bored Ape thing too. All those tanked. they're not worth anything anymore. So
it's so bad. The NFTs are so bad.
It was a pump and dump scheme, so I was just like, okay.
Yeah, and Candyland also. What's bad about Candyland?
That I won't touch.
Yeah, I'm not touching Candyland. To any creators that are considering, if any of you want to play Candyland, it's completely up to your own. It's completely up to you. But as a creator, and I think Biohazard over to my right, the thing screen.
We're both looking towards the same direction.
Exactly.
Like we're reacting to a FNAF VHS tape.
I should reflect my screen next time so it actually looks like it. But same thing about Candyland. NFTs. I don't endorse NFTs. I don't endorse anything to do with NFTs. Cryptocurrency. You can have your own opinions about that. Whether you believe it's the currency of the future. That's actually like we could have a legitimate chat about what how we feel about that. But when it comes to NFTs, they are completely a scam. They're pump and dumps. They just make no sense. They just make no sense. And NFTs, even if you are getting, I think one interesting thing with Candyland that I don't know if you know this, but Candyland's releasing on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot be NFT. You can't have any correlation to NFTs. On
if the I think if Steam knew that, then they would be like, "Oh, whoa, get out of here," you know.
Yeah. NFTs.
I can't wait till Scott finds out about this stupid game. He's because literally Circus Baby is the main character. So
Oh yeah, I was actually Vexitus made a video on it. I don't know, you probably don't know who Vexitus is, but great creator made a great video on Candyland and talked about it. And I thought, and I was just like, it does look like Circus Baby, but also the one thing about it is I don't know if Scott can intervene because the way that they've designed the characters is unique enough. If that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's the same with case animatronics too, right? It's like it's different enough, but you know what they're referring to.
Oh, 1,000%. But at the same point, I think that they can. I think that Scott can probably send them send them like a legal notice saying please stop, like shut it down, like whatever. But they actually might be able to get away with not. And if they don't, then Scott would have to publicly condemn it. You know, like he can't just send the letter and then let's say they're like, what letter? What are you talking about? Then, and if they do that, then that'll be interesting because Scott will have to actually publicly say, I sent them a cease and desist. They didn't listen. I'm publicly blasting this game. Publicly.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I'm not gonna check it out, so I don't care enough. I'm like, get those NFTs out of here, please. I don't want them.
Yeah.
And then, well, the only reason I decided to play Poppy Playtime was because they came out and said, hey, you know, we made a mistake. We do have a contract, so we have to abide to the contract, but we don't really endorse NFTs. And I was like, okay, well, you can't really get out of signing a contract, so that sucks. But they were like, hey, we messed up. It's like, okay, well, you're owning your mistake and saying that they won't produce any more, but they have to honor the contract. I was just like, okay, well, I mean, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I personally will not be playing Poppy Playtime, and this is nothing against you. Like, I respect your decision. I personally am not playing it because, to me, what it speaks volumes that they even turned to NFTs. But same page as you, I completely agree that they did the right thing by publicly admitting that they screwed up.
Yeah.
Publicly stating we made a mistake.
The whole thing is just like, they're like, hey, we made a mistake. So, I mean, people make mistakes, so I think people deserve, as long as the mistake's not like extreme or whatever, you know what I mean? You know, I think people deserve second chances, and I'm just like, okay, well, here we go. You know what I mean?
Crossing your fingers that they never do it again. I have a question for you. So, I'm not a big FNAF VHS viewer. There's channels like Theft King and all these other channels that like summarize it. I never got into those. I don't know any of the names of the popular VHS channels, but I never got into it. Like it's too scary for me, or like I just don't really like enjoy it that much. So I gotta ask you, what is your favorite FNAF VHS? And you guys in the chat, if you guys want to talk about it, what is your favorite FNAF VHS?
Oh, that's hard. I don't actually know. I have no idea. I don't think I have a one true, like, this is my absolute favorite VHS ever.
I actually have a question, if you don't mind. I know that you don't create VHS, so you might not have the perfect answer, but I talked to somebody named Nick Carlson Press, who's another YouTuber that I talked to. We're actually going to be interviewing on next Friday, if you guys didn't know that. We're going to be talking. Writer, and we're talking just about, like, FNAF. And one of the things that we mentioned was FNAF VHS can get a bit gruesome, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can get a bit gruesome. How is that content allowed on YouTube?
The same way anything's allowed on YouTube.
Really?
You just upload it. Yeah. If it's too graphic, it'll be flagged. It'll be like this, because I was gonna react to a VHS, do a video today on a reaction, and when I clicked on the video, it said this video contains
violence.
Somebody offing themselves, and I was like, so I just didn't react to it. But there's like warnings. And it's the same thing with like anything on YouTube. If it's too graphic, there'll be warnings in place for it. You know, it's like you also, if you're a monetized creator, you get limited ads. You'll get denied monetization for those videos. It's kind of the same thing. Like,
that's the name, Squimpus McGrimpus. That's the only one that I actually know. That's the only name that actually sounds familiar to me. That's the only name that I know with FNAF VHS.
Sucks he had to do that thing that I don't want to talk about on camera.
Oh, is that someone that I shouldn't say?
It's the same thing with Jonah Chrome. I don't know if you know the Jonah Chrome stuff.
No, so is it
okay? Yeah.
Bad creator. It
has to do with Yeah, they did a controversy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They did one of those. Dang it. Dang it.
If you have your DMs open,
How about after the stream?
oh yeah, we can talk about it later.
After the stream, okay. Just to
Yeah,
clarify this, guys. Do not say it in chat. I please do not say it in chat. I don't need to know about it in chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't let me know. But we'll do it. Me and Biohazard will tell me. Biohazard will tell me. How about that? Okay. Next thing I want to talk about. Someone actually mentioned it. Emily, thank you for mentioning it. Amanda the Adventurer. Have you ever played that?
I haven't yet actually, but I've seen a lot of gameplay and it looks really good. I need to play it.
I've played a little bit of it on stream. It is like, that's the kind of content that I could easily see like being like it doesn't really seem like it's high budget, but it's like not, because the gameplay is like more puzzle based. Have you seen like the tapes, like the secret tapes?
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Connecting it to like real life footage and like paid actors and like that FNAF had its storytelling. And then, like, all these other games, except for Ban's all the way down here. Ban's storytelling is all the way down here. All right, you Fork Brothers, listen, we can chat if you guys want to join. If you want to join me, we can chat. But your storytelling needs a little bit of work. So we got Ban, FNAF, and then obviously probably Playtime with their whole, live action. Bendy, I haven't played Bendy. I've seen gameplay of it. What are your thoughts on Bendy?
The first one was really fun. I really enjoyed the first Bendy and Ink Machine. I have not played Dark Revival yet, so I'm very behind on a lot of games, by the way.
Yeah,
but,
I've only seen
Dark
gameplay.
Revival, I literally own it, and I just haven't played it.
Yeah, I have not played Bendy, but I watched other creators, and that's how I knew enough about the video that I made talking about which game killed the horror genre. But to be honest, Bendy was never going to be the one that killed the indie horror genre. It was never.
Bendy definitely had decent scares at some points. There's a portion where the projector head, you don't know that he's there, and you go to grab something, and then all of a sudden he appears, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta run, and it really instills that panic in you. And I liked a lot of the characters in Bendy, but again, I haven't played the second one, so I can't comment on that one, but first one was very fun.
Yeah, Bendy, guys, if you guys aren't aware in the chat, if I do actually go somewhere with YouTube, one of my goals is hopefully to get the IP from Bendy and make a show about that, because I do like it, and I'm actually excited to do an actual... I think that they have a story there. They have a story there that can easily correlate to the film, media. I have a friend who, off topic, I have a friend who wants to be a director and whatever, and I have other people who are looking into that as a degree because I'm in college, and we talk, and I just talk about literature. They obviously in a film class they were talking about analyzing literature and film and the connection and how you transition it over. And to me, it was interesting. It is true. It's very difficult to tell a story that's in a video game, in a movie, or even in a book.
Look at the countless video game adaptations that were terrible.
Halo.
I mean, Halo. You could go to Prince of Persia.
Assassin's Creed.
I was about to say, was there Assassin's Creed movie? Because I think I heard it. I'd heard that it was a thing, and then I didn't hear from it again. So I didn't know if it ever came out.
Let's never mention. And I hope that they don't do Fallout. Oh my goodness, Fallout's getting a show, and I'm excited, but I'm not, because I'm scared.
Well, we've seen that shows are easier to tell stories, because everyone I've talked to said Last of Us was good. So it's
that's true.
So I think you can make a series show out of a video game, but I don't know.
Halo bad. Halo bad. Last of Us good. So we have.
There was a Halo movie that I liked, but I don't remember which one it was. I can't was Reach or something? Maybe it was Fall of Reach, or I don't know. I can't remember. There was one of them that I was it wasn't good, but it was I enjoyed it. I sat down and watched the whole thing. So
I'm just scared. I'm hoping that the Fallout's a Last of Us, because apparently there's a huge budget behind it. They haven't released what the budget is, but I'm really excited. It's just gonna be on Prime, so I'm a little scared. Yeah, I'm a little scared. I was I can't remember the last time you guys made something good that was adaptation. I mean, we're getting off topic, but the only thing that I watched that I actually kind of liked was Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy, that show. Yeah, that one was actually good. All right, thanks, Martin, for reminding me that I got jump scared by a monitor. Really needed that in my life. Thanks for that. You ever play Fazbear Entertainment Storage?
I did, actually. Fazbear Entertainment Storage. There's a video that I literally just released maybe 2 days ago, and I streamed it a week ago, so I edited a stream down for video. Fazbear Entertainment Storage, fantastic game. The Withered toy animatronics, fantastic designs.
That's what it is. Your recent. That's what it was. I was watching. I was on your channel because I was like trying to get like stats, like like how many subscribers you had, and I was just like looking at it, and I was like, I didn't click on it because I was like briefly looking at your channel, but I saw it, and I saw your thumbnail, and I saw the Bonnie, the toy Bonnie.
It was like toy Bonnie. Yeah.
It's like, wow, that is that was like that familiar.
I will say that when the game first released, I couldn't play it because I used to do everything on a laptop, right? And it would not open. Like it just would not open at all. Like the game was not optimized. I do see they have a compressed version for weaker PCs. So, but I did play it now that I have a better PC, and it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, I have a laptop, and I'm having a lot of issues. My computer will not run FNAF 6 anymore. It stopped.
Oh no.
Yeah, I can't run FNAF 6, and the glitched attraction wouldn't run for a while. I finally got it back up and working. And
I had the glitch attraction. I had to turn all the settings down to low when I was on the laptop. I had to put them all the way down to low, and then even then it took forever to load everything. So
yeah, recently I don't know what I did. I had to like uninstall all my drivers, reinstall, do a whole bunch of other stuff. But I finally got it to work, obviously, because I streamed it. But it was a very tough battle. It was an uphill battle to get that working. Since we're talking
glitch attraction, fantastic game as well, by the way.
I can't beat that first room. Are you like?
Oh, it's so good.
I can't.
I'm on the final night, which is the FNAF 6 room, and I haven't even sat down to record it yet. So I know what it entails and what I have to do, but everyone's telling me that it's hard. So I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
I'm very interested in the glitch attraction, but I think I'm just gonna have to beat it off stream or something, like the first one, and just like no life it, because it's not entertaining to stream and watch someone die over and over again. But at the same time,
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It gets frustrating at points. Like I'm gonna have to beat the first one, but once I'm done with that, I'll probably try to get back to it. But like streaming it, but it's like I just can't with the time. I don't have enough time. That's the issue. That's the issue for me. I just don't have enough time. Like the clock runs out. Like by the time I get the safe, and I start putting in the numbers, I'm already out of time. Nightmare Bonnie will kill me.
Usually the first, if I remember how I beat it, it was like immediately get in, look for the key. You gotta look for both keys, and then get the puzzle piece, put that in, and then try to quickly do the puzzle. And then if you play on casual, once you open the wall or whatever,
yeah,
I think that's an autosave. If you're playing on casual, if you're playing on normal, then there's no autosaves at all. But play on casual, and once that door the painting falls or whatever,
yeah,
it's an autosave. So I would recommend playing on casual.
I'm playing on casual, and I still can't get by it.
Never mind.
Hey, I saw. Yes, Wendy, we do remember when everyone saw only my face on the screen. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I was there.
That's right, you were there. I actually want to mention something else really quickly. That since we're talking about all these fan games and everything, recently what came under scrutiny, I'll call it, but it was really just because of one thing: the Fanverse initiative and all that with Fizz. Won't get into that, but what we will talk about is Kane Carter has been. If you guys don't know, Kane Carter makes Pop Goes, and Pop Goes had to reveal a trailer and everything. It was really cool, cool moment. Like we're still here, we're still making games. The Joy of Creation, that's still coming out. Like we're still here. If there was something you can do with that initiative, would you keep it or would you do something? Like if you were suddenly in charge of it and you were Scott, what would you do with that initiative?
It's so hard, man, because I would still keep it because I think it's a good thing for the community.
Yep.
But man, it gets kicked in the teeth so much, and it sucks.
People forget how long it takes to make a game.
Yeah, to make a good game.
Exactly.
I do think that I know, I believe it was Nixon literally couldn't work on the game at all because of a contract he had with another team or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't work on Joy of Creation at all until recently. So I understood why that took forever, but I don't even think he ever said anything about it until recently as well. So it's kind of like, well, that's why he hasn't done anything, because it's
another thing.
I don't know. It's just pop. I like Pop Goes. Candy's literally has been quiet, so that sucks.
I was actually just about to say, if I was put in charge, I'm doing three things. I'm releasing Five Nights at Freddy's Plus just because it seems like it was finished and it was near it. Obviously, I'd give Fiznom royalties, whatever the contract stated the team would give Fiznom, Scott would give Fiznom, whatever, Click Team, whoever would give Fiznom what is owed for the game. But then I would release it. Come on, how many videos were made about Five Nights at Freddy's Plus? Like we were pumped for this.
I was ready for it, and it just sucks how it got taken down as well. I was just like, obviously we don't want to dive too much into it, but I was just like,
yeah, it's like just disappointment. Another thing too is that I would do if I was part of like new games. Like I feel like there are some talented fan games that are out there. I feel like some of the ones that they are using are like from when all the fan games were originally created, but like was the glitched attraction wasn't part of the fanverse, right?
nope, it's not.
Yeah, like I feel like the glitched attraction would have been a great addition, or the creators could add. I see what you're. Yeah, I 100% think that they could have added it. They could have added the glitched attraction, or the developers behind it to do some project. The glitched attraction has to be one of the greatest things. Juniors, I don't personally love Juniors, but Juniors was. Do you like Juniors?
Literally one of my top 5 favorite fan games that ever been made.
Yeah, Juniors. Juniors, I didn't love, but Juniors was the skill and you can see the passion behind the project. Why do you like Juniors so much? I gotta ask.
It's different. Like it's literally taken the haunted animatronic thing to another level. I loved like horror games in general. And one of my favorite horror games for a while was Phasmophobia, right? You got to go into the house, figure out what the ghost is.
We got to play.
Look for clues, and literally I've been grinding the update. So because like I'm tier 1 weapons or tier 1 items in the update suck. Yeah. They're absolutely awful. But yeah, the game is it's different, right? You have to find out what the ghost is, what's inside. I like the jump scares. The ending of the game is fantastic, right?
You like the Mangle Night?
I loved
Mangle
Night.
My goodness.
Because the first half of Mangle Night... Go ahead. I'll listen.
My goodness. I literally did a tier list of comparing the fan games I played to like the FNAF games, and I literally separated Juniors and the Mangle Night because I hated the Mangle Night so much, just so I could put it in F tier.
Okay, so hear me out. The first half of Mangle Night is literally FNAF 2.
That's the problem.
Oh, well, if you don't like FNAF 2, then. But the last half, I love the boss fight aspect of like this is our big crescendo. This is it. You know, it starts off with the Wizards, which I loved that. I like nods to the games, but I don't like direct rips to the games, obviously. Yeah. But so it was like a nod. Even the music, I don't know if you knew, the music is literally the trailer for FNAF 2. It's that soundtrack.
The like London Bridge is falling down. That was creepy.
That's a reference. Even the dun 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 dun, that part is literally in the song.
I have to give
like
credit.
The whole trailer is the song that they use. It's really cool.
I have to give credit. It was cool, and though I don't like Mangle because I had my own issues with the game. I feel like maybe it's because my laptop just sucks, and like maybe it's just like delays and whatever. I do feel like I was struggling, but I have to give credit that I've never seen something like that. And though I don't like Mangle and that integration, that would be really cool to see that like in another form, like a boss fight that does everything. Like it's a boss fight within FNAF. Like when did you like we get Fredbear and Nightmare are cool, like Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare are cool, but it's a little repetitive. Whereas Mangle is like an actual like it's almost like you're facing all the animatronics.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. At least in Juniors, it's like the amalgamation of every single animatronic. It reminds me of why I love Molten Freddy. It reminds me of why I love the Blob or Tangle, or is what they're known as in files or whatever. I love that just all the animatronics are band together to make one monstrosity of a creature. Like I thought it was kind of cool.
What are your thoughts on the obviously I know that you played the games and I don't really know your involvement in the lore. I don't really think you care that much, but when it comes to the Burn Trap ending and Ruin, what are your thoughts on that?
I think the Burn Trap ending, obviously it's not canon. I think Princess Quest is canon, right? Yeah. I think Burn Trap exists, like Burn Trap and the Mimic are 1-1, right? But I don't think Burn Trap existed. I don't know if that makes any sense, right?
No, it does. So Burn Trap's dead somewhere. Burn Trap's body is somewhere. Like that's what you mean?
I think Burn Trap himself was supposed to be the Mimic. Yeah. Right? That's supposed to be a 1-1, right? but I felt like Burn Trap is more fan service. Like, oh, this is a super secret boss fight that's not the canon ending, right? So it's just something extra, right? And some people have obviously said like, oh, the true ending or whatever, but we always know that the good endings are never the canon endings anyway. So
I get it. I completely get what you're saying. Yeah, like
Mhm.
I actually
I
think.
think
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. I
No,
was just
yeah,
gonna say I think
you
it
had an epiphany
existed,
there.
but it's not canon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Burn Trap's ending was was meant to be canon. I personally believe to this day, Glitch Trap was originally meant to be the like soul agony like computer generated program that would take someone's mind and then was put into the Burn Trap like corpse, like like implanted
Mm.
and everything like that. That was the original plan. Steel Wool saw the reception to Burn Trap. I mean, I'll be, hey guys, my hands up. I was one of them. People that was just like, you had Vanny, you had Vanessa. Why are we not using her as the villain? Why are we not like? I was disappointed. I was like, why are we using Burn Trap? Good villain you already created and spent so much time developing. Why are we moving on so fast? So I personally, disagreed, but I disagreed with. Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody in chat says, "Why would the pizza packs be destroyed?" There's like sticky notes that say the sinkhole was always going to happen, regardless of whether Burn Trap happens or not.
The Blob. The Blob's 1 second of screen time was so purposeful. It was Steel Wool saying, I'm telling you, people like the Blob. When the Blob came out, people were like, oh, they're all here. That's the amalgamation. Like, for example,
I loved the blob. I loved the blob.
I don't want to use the encyclopedia, and I don't want to get too crazy, but the encyclopedia is, inconsistent. And the encyclopedia says that Molten Freddy, Valviform, another creator, found it, that actually notified me of it. Molten Freddy is credited as being in Security Breach. Isn't that weird?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Molten Freddy's credited as being in Security Breach. I mean, you guys can take that however you want, but that's like very interesting. So,
well,
right?
to point out Wendy, I do believe Burn Trap was Afton. Like I don't discredit that, right? But I also the thing I say is that Burn Trap himself, Burn Trap is not canon, right? So what I think is that Burn Trap and Mimic are the same, but they're not the same. Right? It's like a different timeline, obviously, because if Burn Trap's not canon, Mimic is canon.
Yeah, I think that they pulled the 1-for-1. I know that some people are stating that my issue with just anything ending related, we can get, I don't know if you really care if we're to continue talking lore, but one of the issues that I have with this all is that first of all, dang it, my mic unplugged. There we go. First of all, to like for anyone out there that's talking books and canon, please don't get too hostile. I know that we're gonna be entering that territory, so let's just keep it normal, keep it sane in the comments.
I'll get my pitchforks ready.
Yeah,
they're currently buy one get one half off. If you want to line up to my merch store, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, let's calm down and let's not buy Biohazard's pitchforks. Okay, let's not buy them. But I just want to say that, you believe the books are canon, it doesn't make sense because in the books, in the latest Tales ending that everyone's freaking out about, it says that the Mimic got spring locked, or some form of spring lock happened to the Mimic. So you can't say that Burn Trap was that the Mimic wore the Burn Trap. Like some people are stating that the Mimic got into Burn Trap. That was it was like whatever the heck that is, whatever you want to believe from unholy matrimony took place there between Burn Trap and the Mimic endoskeleton. Whatever you believe happened, some people are saying that that's what happened. The books technically clarify. Technically, I don't believe it, but the books technically clarify it's spring lock, so you can't have your cake and eat it in this scenario. So just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing.
I'll save my reservations on the book until the official book's out and we know exactly what's being said. But...
yeah, I don't want to put too much credit into like the read on like things because those can we don't know could be wrong, but. I will say that if you guys are wondering why the panic is happening, it's because the people who believe the books are canon to the games are having a slight freak out because the latest book wasn't the nail in the coffin like they expected. I hate to say it, but that's kind of what happened. People are like, well, this didn't answer our questions. And that's why you just got to wait a couple months and you'll get help wanted too.
I will say there was a really cool thing that somebody pointed out with, we talk about Mimic 1, Mimic 2, one's the program, one's the robot, right? Yeah. And where if you say Glitch Trap was Mimic 1, and let's say he's mimicking the actions of Afton, right? He wants to be the Spring Bonnie or whatever. If the Mimic had never seen an animatronic other than itself, if it was trying to recreate an image and the only thing he knows is Yellow Rabbit suit, wouldn't he make a stitched up version of a rabbit? Because he doesn't know what, Springtrap, Afton, Spring Bonnie, that model looked like. The only thing he knows is that he was a Yellow Rabbit character that, went around doing his business, right? So, and we know that he likes stitched up suits. Could it be that him wanting to be Afton, like creating the Yellow Rabbit persona, that was the only thing he could like come up with?
My only issue with that is you're now in a digital sphere where you can make wherever you want. So if he saw a Yellow Rabbit like Afton, he would just make the Spring Bonnie suit.
He could have just made Bonnie yellow as well. So
yeah, that's like my only issue when it comes to that, because you're in a digital sphere where there are no bounds, and according to that logic, so it could be like it could create whatever. That's why I think that when Steel Wool changed to the Mimic, it kind of messed with it, because I do think that the Afton digital conscious was gonna be the idea at first.
We love cherry picking what we want to make be real and not real.
Exactly, we all love it. I do it all the time. I have an upcoming video that's gonna be talking about the villain of FNAF. I'm gonna get absolutely toasted for it, and I will be using FNAF as a shield. John, whether you can believe it or not, you are my shield for my upcoming theory. All right, I'm using you as a shield.
I mean, if the things are to be believed with what's in the book, John might be right about a couple things. I'm just saying.
Yes, I think that actually, funny. You know what? What's a creator in the FNAF space that you think gets too much flack? That gets too much.
John.
John.
John. Like Matt Pat's up there, but John literally out of nowhere got a lot of flack for no reason.
I 100% think that Matt, Pat, and John get so much flack for no reason, and then when you ask them to justify it, they're like, well, their personal headcanon and theorizing is off, and you're like, what do you mean? You have your theories, and you get mad at us when we say it's wrong. Why are you mad at them when they say their stuff?
I don't know. I think theory crafting, especially like when you look at other creators, like it's all meant to be for fun, and it seems like there's a part of the community that kind of just lost that. We all do this for fun. We don't do this to make people angry or whatever. I know there's some creators that do. Don't get me wrong. I know that's what some creators make money on. But majority of creators like just do this for fun. And same thing with theories. Like they're like, oh, I made this connection here and here and here. This is interesting. Here's why I think this. And people are like, nah, you're wrong. Burn your house down. It's like, what? I don't get it.
Wendy, to answer your question, are the Pizzaplex books canon? I'll ask Biohazard. Are the Pizzaplex books canon because they state that the Mimic has a corpse on it, yet Ruin it doesn't? And then I don't
think that they're 100% canon. I think they're one-to-one parallels at times. But I think if I was in control of FNAF, the books would be their own universe, games would be own universe, movies own universe.
Do you think?
I was just going to say, I mean, DC, Marvel, they all do the same thing. There's the story that they want to tell in the movie. And if you want extra stories, okay, here's the comic books. Or, we did comic books, and then like, oh, we want extra story. Here's the movies. Here's the TV show. Here's the read this on the internet exclusive. Here's the video game. So they all have the same characters, and they're all in a different universe, right? So I think FNAF should have done that.
I personally think that the books should. I think that they can't even make them confirmed canon or not, because people are instantly going to complain that you have to buy books to understand the lore.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Yeah,
I think what I've always thought is that I think the game should tell the cohesive story, whether it's through Easter eggs or whatever through the games. But to know more, then you read the books. Like, if you want to know more about William Afton and what he did and his plan and why he got to where he's at, okay, then read the book, right? But in the game, William Afton was the person with the missing children's incident. We kind of have a direct line of why he did it. His kid died. He wanted revenge, whatever. It's kind of like you have a story there. And even Ride Toast pointed out, there's a story that you can tell in the game, right? And so what I always thought was the book should be like, okay, if you want to know just a little bit more, why exactly is he Spring Bonnie? Okay, read this story. Oh, why was Charlie the first one? Okay, you read this story. Why was Susie the first kid that obviously that's Ultimate Custom Night line, but why was Susie the first child? Like, if you want to know those stories, read the books. I think that's how it should have been. It should have been separate, or if you wanted to make them all one continuity, like one story, the game should tell the main bulk of the story, and then you get like little tidbit stories here and there.
I think that one of the issues with the books, and I think that a lot of people might be able to agree, is that one of the issues that will ever, even if they are canon or not canon, one of the issues with the books is that a lot of the stories are so meaningless.
Yeah.
So you're just like you're left.
Welcome to Dragon Ball Z.
that
Oh,
exactly. It's gonna be like, why? Like, the stories are going to be so meaningless. People are going to complain, I bought this book. Like, for example, if the Fazbear fight, some people are claiming Stitch Line games. If you don't know what that is, people are saying that the Fazbear fights are canon to the games. That panics me a bit because it makes me wonder where we all are as a community, but I think it's because we're bored. So it makes me think, if you really want to see the Stitch Lines, then that means all the Fazbear fights, because the Fazbear fights happen within the same universe as the stuff. Whatever. Then you have to think, then Eleanor has to be canon, which... oh my goodness, that raises a whole other can of worms. But besides all that, you have like stories like In the Flesh. Why? Do you know that story, In the Flesh?
Where the guy gives birth to Plush Trap or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's in the games now? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had your hand raised. What's up?
Oh, you were just talking about Eleanor being canon, and I just started laughing.
Yeah, there's just.
But I don't want to spoil the book, so.
There's just a lot. There's just so much that's there that would be there to unpack. And since just to cap off FNAF, I dragged my mouse across your screen. One last thing that I have to ask you about FNAF. What are your bold predictions for Help Wanted 2? Everyone's guessing. I want to know your guess.
Well, I think it's just a continuation of the story that Steel Wool's trying to tell. Mm-hmm. That's about. Maybe we play as Cassie's dad. That'd be cool. Or Cassie herself. She's like locked in the game or something.
The circus theory. Do you remember that? Like the John.
Oh, the balloon circus.
Yeah, carnival.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I think we get more sister location style games. I think we get FNAF 6 style VR games. I think we could get. What's another?
The glam
we could
rock
get
and no,
security
like,
breach stuff. Yeah, like we could get a lot of. I think those would be really cool, especially FNAF 6. Because think about this: they do a FNAF 6 night 1 through 5 or whatever, and you have to do all the things in the room with the computers, but then look left and right, and then imagine like turning and seeing Molten Freddy just in the vent staring at you,
or like William Afton reaching for you.
Which, speaking of, if you've never played. There's a fan game called Freak Show. It's a FNAF 6 fan game. That's a mechanic where if you look at the vent, you have to figure out who's in the vent, and if you flash your light, you could see Molten Freddy staring back at you. It's creepy. Or like Afton or something. It's
in VR that would be horrifying.
Oh, I'd love it. It'd be like the Mangle Night or whatever.
I'm actually curious in case if you have any idea if you have any other ideas about not just Help Wanted 2, but also I personally really, do you think that Help Wanted 2 is going to be a PlayStation VR 2 exclusive? I saw that at you don't think so? No. I think
it's literally going to be like every other Steel Wool game that's released. It'll be PlayStation and PC first, and then it'll go to every console after that.
You think it'll be in the Oculus?
Yeah.
At release?
Mm.
That's my question, because I want to play it, but I'm like, do I get an Oculus for it, or what do I have to play?
I'm pretty sure it'll be on the Index, but I don't know about the Oculus, because Index is obviously Valve's thing, right? So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it'll be there. Oculus, I'm not sure. I have no idea.
What do you use for a VR headset?
I don't.
Oh, really? So you just...
Yeah, I've done PlayStation VR. I still have access to PSVR, like PS4 VR. Obviously, this is going to be on PSVR 2. So I'm going to have to get a VR headset as well.
That I think that's a little expensive, like to get a PlayStation 5 and the VR, but I mean...
I won't buy a PS5 and a VR. Like, I already had the PS4, and then a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I'm getting the VR too if you want the VR." I was like, okay.
I gotta make some new friends. All I have are Xbox friends. I need to find some PlayStation
Well,
people.
it was originally just I was like, hey, can I borrow it because I have Help Wanted on PlayStation?
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow it to record some videos? He was like, yeah, cool. So I borrowed it, and then he was like, oh, I'm getting the PSVR too. So he's like, if I was like, yeah, whenever you want it back, come get it, or let me know, and I'll bring it back to you immediately. He's like, yeah, just hold on to it for now. And then it's been like 2 years, and he hasn't said a word. So I'm like, bro, VR. He's like VR too. So I'm like, okay.
Must really not want that back. The VR2 looks cool though. The VR2 looks cool, but I'm like afraid. I'm afraid if it's exclusive. I am. I'm afraid.
I don't want to buy a PS5 for one game. I'm just.
I feel the exact same. I don't want to buy it for one game either. But I almost feel like they would do it because PlayStation.
I mean, I did it for the
Sony.
Switch, so I can't really say.
What game
anything.
did you get on the Switch for?
Literally, I was like, oh, the new Pokemon games are gonna be on the Switch. Buy a Switch.
Okay.
But I played like all those on the Switch. That's about all I've played on the Switch. So. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've played all the FNAF games on the Switch. Every single one.
Really?
All of them. Yep.
Have you beat them all?
Yep. Take it back. I haven't beaten Ultimate Custom Night. I think is the only thing I haven't. I did all the challenge modes, but I haven't done 50-20 mode, and I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I saw a question from Bonnie the Bunny. Imagine if PlayStation bought FNAF. There's no worries of like an acquisition within the FNAF world, I think, right?
No, that ain't gonna happen.
I think PlayStation could possibly buy Steel Wool Studios, but I don't think they'd be able to buy FNAF from Scott. I think Scott would.
Well, they already have a deal in place anyway.
Yeah, they do, but
yeah, the games will come to PlayStation first, and then every other console later. So
yeah.
There's already a deal in place, so it's like.
I definitely don't see like acquisition personally, but if PlayStation wanted to, they could buy it. But to answer your question, Bonnie, they could never ever buy like the FNAF IP, I would call it. They can never buy the rights to FNAF. I think Scott's holding that till the day he dies, so you can have full creative control. Because if Sony bought it, we would be seeing some very not FNAF stuff.
We're gonna get we're gonna get Fortnite FNAF.
The God of War crossover.
That style game where it's like loot boxes and stuff in FNAF, and I'm gonna be like,
it'll basically
it's
be
like,
FNAF
if you
AR.
want a better flashlight, buy it. Yeah, FNAF AR. Don't get me started on that.
Dude,
like
FNAF AR.
$20 for one skin. Like
I don't understand where they thought. Like, listen, Scott, I have immense respect for you on many levels. But FNAF AR, that was a project. I mean, maybe you did shoot it down, and that's why it no longer exists, and that's why it's no longer getting updates. But that should have been shot down so quickly once you saw $20 updates.
I thought FNAF AR on paper was fantastic. Like the idea of like, oh, I'm using my phone to play the FNAF game. I thought that was great. But then you go, oh, it's pay for character. Oh, you can play character, but it literally did the mobile game strategy of, oh, here's a base game. Oh, now you have to wait 4 hours to play again. Or you can pay us money and you can play some more right now. Just annoying.
It was not only did it like, not only was it bad like from a moral and ethics standpoint, it also just leaves, FNAF itself with a bad taste or a bad impression that I don't think it needed. Especially because I do think of FNAF, like the FNAF mobile, there's a large FNAF mobile community. Like, I personally got into FNAF not playing PC. I played it on an iPad that I had. And then I got a phone, and then I played it on my phone. Like, the mobile community for FNAF exists. So, last thing we need is to lose that.
Well, Wendy, I would agree with you that a lot of the skins are good. Like, I like some of the skins. But you also, to say that, you also have to say that some of the skins are literally the worst thing in FNAF. Like, I don't need Arctic Balloon Boy. That skin looks like crap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, sorry. I'm actually reading chat. Someone sent something. Andy sent something. I was reading it. No, but 100%. And AR skins should not have been that much. And also, the AR as a whole should not have had lore. Those emails are so confusing.
Yeah. I think if you're an official FNAF game, it should have had lore. But
yeah, but since we don't know, now these emails are like lost into the ether of canonicity. Are they canon?
Well, Illumix said if the email is not officially released, it's not canon.
Oh,
which is what a lot of people. Yeah, I'm pretty. I'd have to find the post, but I read somewhere the other day where they were like, if the email is not officially out, it's not canon.
Oh, because I think people were data mining, and these companies don't realize how much we data mine. I think Stu will braced for it this time, but oh my goodness, we data mine. As a fan base, we data mine, and they found everything you could possibly find with that game. and 1,000%, I don't think Illumix. What was it? Is it called Illumix?
Illumix, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Illumix was ready. Just like Steel Wool.
But also, shout out our data miners for telling me that there was only 3 endings in Ruin, so I could stop playing that game. Even though I loved playing Ruin, I was like, "Where's the lore? I want more endings."
I was expecting an ending. I think that it was planned, but I was expecting an ending where you fix everyone and they all team up.
There was rumored a 4th ending in the files, but it's not.
Yeah.
Nothing has been confirmed. So.
Nothing was ever made from it, I think. I don't think it ever
hold on, Wendy. Clown Springtrap is best skin. I don't want to hear it.
Clown Springtrap.
I love Clown Trap. But Clown Trap reminds me of the clown from Dead by Daylight, so I can't be mad about that.
Andy, I'm actually want to read your. I think we're gonna get a trailer. Sorry, I'm just gonna read Andy's message. Glenmark Free. I actually wanted to message and talk about this because this is a huge thing for FNAF, and I wish I had it in my original plans, but I didn't. PAX West having a FNAF booth. Mm-hmm. Isn't that so cool? I don't like. That is not only so cool. Kellen Goff's gonna be there. I think FNAF is gonna be there. I wonder if there's gonna be any other creators. Are you going?
No, that's on the other side of the country.
Oh, same for me. It's like literally, I'm a polar opposite from the convention. But
shockingly, I found a lot of East Coast FNAF creators. It's very weird.
Like within your area?
No, like just like through Twitter or like whatever. It's like people are usually East Coast or Central, and I'm used to people either like West Coast or in England or Australia or whatever. Like I'm like, huh.
I'm surprised that if it's true that the community is like very much East, I'm surprised they didn't do it in the East, like I don't know why PAX, maybe it's
there's a PAX East, PAX West, PAX North and South.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking, why they didn't do PAX East. If they feel like their fan base is also because there's a UK fan base, there is a UK FNAF fan base.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I feel like that might have been.
Well, I think this is just the next PAX, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do a booth." I think there was no thought other than, "Oh, there's PAX. Oh, we can do a booth. Okay, let's do that." And I think that's all it was. Convenience. Yeah. They did say, to go off of what Andy was saying, they said there's gonna be a demo of Help Wanted 2 at the. I'm so excited. I was like, I wonder if YouTubers will be able to talk about it, or maybe somebody will leak the video or whatever. I think that'd be cool. I'm so happy that Dawko and Rizbowski and all those guys got to go to see the movie. That was so cool. Like to hear Dawko and all of them. And I love the Easter egg in the movie too. Fusion Z. I just love hearing their experiences. Like sure they're probably signed NDAs. Like they can't say a single thing about it, but I still think that's so cool, and I can't wait for that. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably more excited for the movie than actually Help Wanted 2. I was probably more excited for the movie than I was Ruin or Help Wanted 2. The movie's been talked about for 8 years, so it's like exactly. I have more built up equity in the movie than I do a game that just got announced a week ago or a month ago or whatever. So. I didn't even think it was gonna release. I give up hope. Yeah. A lot of people were like, I think most people were like, if it happens, cool, but at this point, eh. I'm very shocked that that actually happened, and then I'm also very shocked that they were able to get the cast that they did, like Hutcherson, the guy who Hutcherson. Yeah. Like that's a big time actor to bring in. I know he's. You mean the John clone or whatever? Yeah, that would be awesome. I think he already confirmed that he's not in the movie, but it would be really cool to see FNAF Mark also said he's not in the movie, but. We know Markiplier. He's so lying. If him or Matt Pat are not in it, I'm going to actually be mad. I'm so happy Corey Kenshin's in there, though. Corey Kenshin, that is a huge creator to include. I really hope that Matt Pat or Dawko. I think that Matt Pat would fit the role as, a nerdy, guy to, a cashier or something like that. Actually. Yeah. Please be an actually. God, please, I'm begging you. Actually, it's $8.99, not $7.99, excuse me. And then actually his name is Freddy Fazbear. Yeah, and not Freddy Fazbear. Oh yeah, he would be the guy that's obsessed with the history and the background of Freddy Fazbear. And I was like, so what do you know about Freddy? What do you know about Fazbear Entertainment? Well, and clicks a light, and he reveals his basement full of just photos of everything. I know they wouldn't give him that heavy of a cameo, but that would still be pretty cool. It'd be cool. All right, Biohazard, I have to thank you for joining me. I've taken a lot of your time. I really do appreciate you joining me on the stream.
got to have, at least for me, I don't know about you, but I had a really cool conversation talking to you. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, this was fun. This was fun.
I appreciate everyone who joined. I gotta say, I'm not expecting people to enjoy these conversations as much as, I mean, I got to have Alper, I got to have Mystical Ram, I got to have you, and we got to have Nick. I'm actually shocked that you guys like hearing me talk, and I'm very thankful that I have people like you joining and talking. And it's fun to talk FNAF. It's so fun.
Oh yeah.
It's so fun.
Oh yeah.
So I want to wish you guys all a great rest of your night. I do appreciate you joining. Enderben, thank you for the membership, the gifted membership, I should say. I will see you guys all at Friday with Nick. I'll make an official announcement at some point. Biohazard, is there anything you want to say to everyone before we head out?
Subscribe to Sandwichly.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
subscribe
and
to Sandwich.
Also, yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. This was fun. I really enjoyed this.
Well, I appreciate you answering it. That's the real appreciation. Guys, I will be in the Discord later. I'm gonna talk to Bio for a bit before I have some catching up to do. But then I'll be talking to you guys all. I'll be in the Discord after. So, Martin, if you could start linking like an invite, I think you're able to create an invite. If you could create that and put it in there, if you don't mind. But thank you guys. I will catch you guys on the next live stream, which will be this Friday. I'm not doing it Thursday. I have to really work on a script. So I'll catch you guys all on Friday. Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your night.